Welcome to the video. I'm coming to you guys live from Whistler. So if you guys have any questions at the end, I'm gonna definitely get to some of your questions. But I wanna talk to you guys about 5 ways that you can definitely ruin your snowboard season. And I wanna talk to you guys about this so that you can hopefully avoid all of these things. So for myself, I've definitely been guilty of a few of these. I've ruined my season, ruined days, kind of made all the mistakes out there. And if I haven't done one of these, I've seen them happen to my friends or to my acquaintances or just to other people, just seeing it happen. So wanted to pass these on to you guys, the 5, I think most common ways to ruin your snowboard season. And yeah, just go through them and hopefully give you guys some advice on how to avoid them. And then at the end, if you guys have any feedback, if you've been through any of these things, it'd be great to hear in the comments. And if you have any solutions that I've missed, it'd be great to hear from you guys too. And yeah, if you guys have any questions about these, definitely hit me up. Also, yeah, share your stories. It's always like fun to hear some of the stories of how a snowboard season was ruined. So I'm going to start with, I guess, the 5th most common way and make my way down to the number 1. You guys may be able to guess the number one way, but it's not overly obvious. But yeah, let's start with number 5. I think so. Number 5, in a way to ruin your snowboard season, is to be riding in bad conditions. And not just riding in bad conditions, but taking some risk in bad conditions. So the thing that stands out the most in my mind is that when I was teaching snowboarding, when we would have like a day or two of icy conditions, that's when the most amount of injuries would happen. Like you could go, like my goal all the time when teaching snowboarding was always to have no injuries. So if I had a class of 7 or 8 students, and we were in the terrain park and we're all over the mountain, and even if they're beginners, my goal was to always get everyone back like 100% safe, no injuries. And if I could do that for an entire season, then that was like the best thing. So I remember thinking about that, like, let's go for an entire season with no injuries. But there were some days and some weeks where the snow just became so icy and firm and hard that it was almost impossible to like completely avoid like any and all injuries. And I do remember I think there was 3 days in a row where every day I went out and it was icy. And I think I had a student get injured on the ice, broken collarbone. Just what happened was he went off a small side hit. It was an icy landing and he kind of went forward, and because there was nothing there to cushion the landing, he ended up breaking his collarbone. And so that was like the end of the trip and probably the end of his snowboard season. And it was just those like firm icy conditions. And then seeing it happen to like my fellow instructors with their class, just a small thing. Somebody could just fall over, just not even doing anything, not taking any risk, just falling over. But because it was that like bulletproof icy condition, it just makes it so easy to get hurt. And then even for myself, sometimes when I'm riding and there's a trick or there's some terrain that I'm used to riding, but if the conditions are bad, that's when it can become very dangerous. And what you thought was something that wasn't risky turns into something that can be very risky and dangerous because of bad conditions. So I would say the number 5 way to ruin your season is in bad conditions. So the way to fix that is when the conditions are bad, to tune down your riding, like take it to a safe place where you can cruise, avoid any risk, and don't try to like learn anything new when the conditions are bad. Like on icy days, I'm not like jumping onto rails, trying new board slides, because like when I'm doing things like that, I know there's a chance that I could fall. And when the conditions are icy, I don't want to do that. So yeah, detune your riding on icy or just days that the conditions are bad. Number 4, this one is very different from number 5. So the fourth most common way, I think, to ruin your snowboard season is to get fired from your mountain job. So if anyone's watching who's worked for like the mountain or worked for some place that helps you to like maybe even make snowboarding possible, if you get fired from that job, it can definitely ruin your season because sometimes you lose your pass, you can lose your housing, and if you are working in a foreign country, you could possibly even lose your visa. So working for the mountain, I saw this quite a bit. Somebody would do something small or stupid and then lose their job over something small, which yeah, then you lose your season's pass, you lose your job, you may lose your housing, all kinds of stuff. Some examples I remember I saw somebody tell a bad joke that was like a little bit racy, and their boss overheard, and somebody got fired, and then then they lose their season's pass. I saw somebody who didn't have a snowboard, and so they stole a rental board and they spray painted the top to disguise that it was a rental. But then their boss saw from the chairlift that they were riding a rental board because he couldn't spray paint the bottom. So they lost. That was actually my first friend in Whistler lost his job over that. And then just other little things, just, showing up late. I think if you commit to working for a job and it turns out you don't like it, but you're relying on your pass for it, I think the best way is to either leave on good terms so that you can, hope maybe keep your pass, or just stick it out and then the next season, do a different job. But if your job is connected to you snowboarding, that's one thing you don't want to mess with because it could definitely throw a wrench in your snowboard plans. Okay, number 3. This one is one that I was definitely guilty of for most of my snowboarding career, and that is just partying too much. So staying up late, being out, partying is like probably the thing that held me back most in snowboarding. And most of my injuries, I think, came from not having enough sleep the next day, just being out all night in a club, partying with my friends, and that definitely got me into a lot of trouble. So what happens is you don't get up for the best powder days because you're hungover, so you're sleeping through all the best snow. You're also, when you do go up, you're not feeling very good, so you end up. A few of the times I got hurt was definitely because I was, feeling like, 30 or 40% of my regular self. So yeah, you end up missing out on days, you end up getting hurt. And when you do go up, you end up, you just ride like 50% good. You feel like, you just feel terrible. So for me personally, that was one of the, if I could go back and do it again, I would probably try and go out maybe half of the time or maybe even a quarter of the time. So yeah, number 3, partying. Me personally, that was something that really hindered my snowboard progression, my snowboard career. You can't progress if you feel terrible the next day. All right, number 2, this is one, it hasn't happened to me, but I've seen other people, is running out of money. So a lot of times you show up for a season, maybe at a new resort, and everything is new and exciting, and you maybe have a budget of maybe $2,000 for your first month, and you spend all your money, and then you have to like move home with your parents. So that's something I've seen happen quite a lot to people, is they come out for a snowboard season and they just spend all their money either partying or doing other things, maybe buying expensive gear, or who knows what they're doing, but they spend all their money and then they don't have enough money left over to like pay their rent or to even buy a season's pass. That was the biggest thing for me when I was growing up. A lot of my friends were spending money on their car or on other things. And my priority, like when I was in high school, was my number one priority was I always knew that I wanted to move to the mountains. So I was saving my money for that when the fall came around and when there was an opportunity to actually move. I had enough money for a season's pass, for a plane ticket, and also enough money so that I could pay rent. So in my group of friends, I was the first one to move out to the mountains And yeah, luckily I was able to not spend all my money and make it work. So yeah, just know what your priorities are. If you know your number one priority may not be snowboarding, it may be other things, but that's just going to mean you're just not going to have, you may not go, or you may only be able to go a limited number of times. But if your number one priority is snowboarding, then I would suggest using your money wisely, buying that season's pass, having enough money for the first and last month's rent at the resort and at the ski town. And so you can make it happen and you can like live your dream and instead of maybe making car payments or something like that. So yeah, number two, I definitely saw it happen to a few friends of mine. I was always like really sad to see them go when they told me they had to move away from the mountains, but it definitely happens. And then the number one thing, I feel like everyone kind of either knows this or like has heard of this, but it's like the curse of the last run. I think we've all been there. It's like the last run of the day and you're feeling good and you're like, okay, this is going to be my last run. I'm just going to do one more lap through the park or one more high speed carving lap or one more lap up in the Alpine, and you end up getting hurt. And it's just like, it's that thing because you've been snowboarding all day, you're tired, but mentally you feel good. You feel good mentally. It's the last run, you're excited, but you're not quite feeling it. And the conditions are also probably the worst at the last run, which contributes to a lot of people getting hurt. But yeah, it's happened to me and I've seen it happen to almost all my friends, is on the last run, something happening, somebody getting hurt. It was maybe 13 or 14 years ago. I was on my last run in the terrain park. I was having an amazing day, all day, riding in the park, just having a great time. And it was myself and my buddy's last run through. And it was actually the very last jump when I went to do a spin and I just didn't do it right. I was all off balance, ended up upside down, and I landed on my shoulder. And that shoulder injury ended up costing me like, I had to take like a month off, ended up having to have surgery on it years later and recover from that, and just led into a whole bunch of things. So that it was because of that last run, I didn't just like take it off and cruise down. Instead, I decided to like push it, take risk. And on the last run, I hurt my shoulder. I had another friend come out for a visit and it was the same scenario. It was, this time I wasn't with him. I was actually, I can't remember what I was doing, but the story is that they were riding in the terrain park all day. And then on the very last run, he decided to attempt a rail that he hadn't done before. And on that rail is when he clipped his board. He went over and broke his collarbone. So the last run thing, I think that curse is real. And just recently too, if you guys have seen some of the recent videos of me riding in the terrain park, there was a run where I put the cameras away and I was just riding through for fun. It was the ride down, and on the jump that I've been hitting all day long, I ended up like going too big, landed funny, slid out, and I wasn't hurt, thankfully, but it was like the worst kind of like slide out of the day. And it just happened to be on the last run, on the last feature. So that's one. I think it's like, if you get to the end of the day and you've had a great day, then don't push it on that last ride out to your car or to ride home. That's the run you just want to like take it mellow, and then it saves you, to ride a whole other day when you're fresh. So guys, that's my list. Those are the five things that definitely I think can ruin your snowboard season. So number 5, bad conditions. 4, getting fired from your job. Number 3, partying too much, staying up late. Number 2, running out of money. And then number 1, the last run, getting hurt. So yeah, let me know your feedback, guys. Let's see who's on here. Shout out to everyone for hopping on for the live chat. Thanks for people for dropping some super chats as well. Let's check in on the super chats. So Andrea Monaco with the super chat. Thanks for the support. Says, yo, what's up, man? I love your vids. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for checking them out. And thanks for the $5 support, Andrea. Edward with the super chat as well says, One way to ruin is to have a negative crew that brings you down. Excuse me. Yeah, Edward, for sure. Yeah, if you're riding with some negative people who, um, yeah, like in my experience, I've been up riding with people before, and all I would hear in my ears maybe like criticism of other people or talking about what other people are doing wrong, and yeah, just kind of having this like negative vibe, and that can really just suck your motivation and energy out. So it's always good to stay with a positive crew, people that are happy to be up snowboarding, and just having a good time, and also like pushing each other and kind of inspiring each other to get better too. That's the crew you want. Some a crew that supports you and inspires you to get better. Andrea with another super chat says one way to ruin your season is to be canceled by COVID. Yeah, for sure, Andrea. That's one that's that sucks. And to everyone out there, if the resorts are closed where you are, yeah, that's a real bummer. I hope that the snowboard content is helping you to is helping just to get you guys through it until everything opens back up again. And if this season is a loss, then hopefully next season is a full go. And one option is the summertime. There's a lot of like cool places to travel to and visit if you can for summer riding. That could be like the savior for the year. But yeah, for everyone out there that can't ride right now because it's shut down, I hope the content's helping to keep you held over. Mar Fishing with a super chat says, "What's up, Kev? Random. Where do I find a link to your stickers?" Awesome, Mar. So actually, at the moment, I'm sold out of stickers. I will put a link to the beanies down below in the description if you want to check out the Snowboard Pro Camp beanies. And I'll order some more stickers. I've been meaning to do that. I think recently we've like gone out of stickers, so I'll get the stickers back and get some links in the description. Normally, I've got links to all my gear and like stickers and beanies in the description of every video. Awesome. Thanks for the support, guys. Bubble Brian says, things that are ruining his snowboard season: having a job, having a girlfriend, breaking yourself, too many drinks, no money. Oh, he says he's been 65 days in a row. Oh, wow. Bubble Brian, you are killing it, man. That's amazing. Blue wants to know what's a good time to buy snowboard gear on sale. I feel like online you can find snowboard gear on sale all year round. There's like there's always like a outlet area of a lot of websites. There's always like something on sale. So I would just check the websites and look for the sales. Yo, our buddy David Jones is on here. What's up, David? Thanks for hopping on, man. Excited to see you. All right, let's look and see if there's some more. Oh, so somebody says, "Did you tell the 5 reasons yet? My brother just broke his tibia in the woods today." Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope he heals up quick. Yeah, that's yeah, injuries are definitely the worst. Bubble Brian says, "Don't lose your pass." Yeah, losing your pass, that may not ruin your entire season, just like losing the actual card, but it can definitely ruin your day of riding for sure. Oh, David says blowing out your knee with for sure ruin your season. Yeah, David, man, the other season dude, you've come back from that 100%. You're killing it with the riding now though, man. Brady says nothing worse than getting up the mountain and better snowboarders making fun of you for doing something wrong. Brady, yeah, just remember, man, that everyone was a beginner at some point. So honestly, when I see people in the park or like when people are trying, it's like I think it's great. It's like showing that people are trying to learn and progress. And yeah, we've all been there. I was the guy, and sometimes I still look like a beginner too. So falling on something or I remember trying to do my first turns and just falling 50 times down the mountain. So just remember that everyone's been there at some point. Uh, Bubble Brian's all over this saying he loves bad conditions. All right. Another super chat from Andrea saying, yo, David Jones is in the chat. Yeah, David Jones is on here. Oompa Lumpia saying, I know it can't be helped sometimes, but not knowing how to fall properly can ruin your season too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, learning how to fall. For me, like recently, like when I was learning to skateboard, as soon as I learned how to fall, that definitely kept me like gave me more confidence. And instead of having like a bad fall where I would hurt myself, I was learning how to sort of roll out of things. So I think, yeah, that is a huge one. If you can start to learn how to fall, that's when you can avoid injuries and avoid just a lot of sketchy situations. Learning how to fall. So that's a really good one. There's actually a video on how to fall on the channel. If you guys want to check it out after. But yeah, that's a huge one that can save you from help you do it to avoid injuries and roll out of crashes. Uh, Lumpy says, "What if I never put wax on my board?" Um, I feel like it's not going to ruin your season, but it may slow you down. It may make you have like a slow season. It could ruin your day for sure. I've seen people come up the mountain with like no wax on their board, and then they go to ride some powder and they just get stuck and they stop. So definitely, I think keep your board waxed. It may not ruin your whole season, but it could ruin it one day if you go up and you just you're getting stuck on everything. Carlos saying broke my hand last Saturday. Oh no, Carlos, man. Hope it heals up quick. That sucks, man. Riley saying ruining my snowboard season is being stuck in climate change. Oh no, Riley. I hope that sucks. Yeah, at the moment here in Whistler, it has been like very cold, so hopefully you get some of that cold wintry weather soon. Rami saying riding tired slash exhausted. That's the best recipe for bad things happening. Yeah, Rami, absolutely. That's for me, it's like, yeah, at the end of the day is when all the bad things happen. So staying fresh, knowing when to yeah, when that snowboard energy bar is starting to go down, that's when it could be a signal to actually go down the mountain. So yeah, avoid being overly tired or exhausted. Rock Dog saying too much snow on the drive. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, sometimes if, yeah, that's the tricky one because it's like with snowboarding, the best time to go is when there is the most snow, but that also can make it the most dangerous time to drive. I would say like um, maybe like have bring chains for your tires. That can be like a really good one. Having good winter tires for those snowy conditions. I feel like an all-wheel drive car is awesome, but the thing that is even better is like good winter tires. So definitely, if you're doing any drives on the road into snowy conditions, like really good winter tires help. All-wheel drive if you have it, and then having like chains that you can put on if you need to. I know like some places like down in New Zealand where David Jones is, a lot of places are like dirt roads to the resort, and they can be pretty steep too. So having chains is like mandatory. So yeah, chains is a huge one, and yeah, the that drive can be sketchy. A few of, I don't think I've. Oh yeah, I have. I've actually had a few. Not me personally, but I've been in the car with friends who have actually gotten into accidents, either going to snowboarding or coming back from snowboarding. Just because, yeah, when you're driving through like a winter storm, it's like the worst time. So, yeah, having chains, driving slow, having good winter tires, all those things are important. Thomas with the super chat says, "Hey Kevin, can you make another carving guide video? I know you've made a few before, but I think another one would be awesome." Yeah, Thomas, for sure, man. Yeah, due for another carving video. Yeah, carving is super fun. I wish I could get down to Colorado and do some carving videos with Ryan Napton. But yeah, in the meantime, until then, I'll definitely try to get a carving video out for you. Roddy says, being stuck on a tropical island in the middle of a pandemic ruined my season. Oh no, worst place to be stuck. It's definitely not the worst place, but a tropical island is a decent place to be stuck during a pandemic for sure. Thomas said, got a concussion today. Last second, saw some slow straggler on the mountain, and yep, caught an edge and fell. Yeah, it's too bad, Thomas. Hope were you wearing a helmet, man? Yeah, definitely. Concussions suck. That's sorry to hear that, Thomas. Hope you've had it checked out, and yeah, make sure you're wearing a good helmet, man. David saying, getting your swagger jacked by some guy in Venice will ruin your season. Yeah, we got swagger jacked, David. Well, we got truly swagger jacked when we got back to Vancouver. That's when we got fully swagger jacked. Was in the Vancouver airport. Adam wants to know, how do I find a snowboard friend or crew? Most people won't want to ride with me since I'm only 13. Um, Adam, yeah, there's tons of 13-year-olds out there who are riding. I think the best way is to, yeah, I don't know, just like make conversation with somebody on the chair. If you can, if you're on the chair with somebody your age, just ask them if they want to ride in the train park with you, or if they, yeah, if you just want to snowboard. So Adam, just talk to people on the chair, somebody your own age. I think that's a good way to do it. Josh wants to know, what should I do for snowboarding? I'm only 11, Kev. Josh, I would say turn all of your Christmas and birthday presents into snowboard related presents. That's what I did when I was like a kid your age. I would just ask my parents like, oh, for my birthday, I want a board, or I want bindings or something. And for, so there'd be like some presents I get for Christmas, others for my birthday, until I had all my snowboard gear. And then maybe for lift passes or to get to the mountain, if you could get your parents, like one of your parents to drive you to the mountain, maybe see if you have any friends that snowboard, get them involved. Maybe you can have, maybe if you have a friend that snowboards whose parents take them to the mountain, maybe, yeah, you can get into it that way. Ricky says, when your bindings come loose while you are on the mountain, that can definitely be a way to ruin your day. If you get, yeah, I've had over the years lots of different weird things happen with my bindings, like the toe strap will break, or yeah, you'll have a strap break, which can possibly ruin your day. There are ways to fix it. Like if you're on the mountain, sometimes there's like a mountain shop that could have some pieces, or they may have the tools if you need to tighten. So that's one way to fix that. All right, let's do a few more questions. Oh, El Stacker sent in some potatoes from Idaho. Thank you, El Stacker. Babern says, can you take the ear pads off of the Smith Maze helmet? Yes. So my helmet is around here somewhere, and I took those ear pads right off. They should come out easy. Just figure it out. There's definitely a way. You just it may be a bit snug, but give it a good pull, and you can get those ear pads right out of there. Sean wants to know if you can get into the park with the rental board. You definitely can. Yeah, some of the rental boards are perfectly good, so you can definitely do it. I think we're getting some video requests on 5 ways to ruin your snowboard. Um, yeah, we can maybe make that video. Chlorine says the worst thing that's happened to me was when I was stuck on a lift for an hour because it broke down and wasted the rest of my time up there, and I had to leave. That sucks. Yeah, you got stuck on the chair for an hour. Wow. Yeah, there's always those like scary stories too of people getting stuck on chairs or chairs like falling over or yeah, scary things like that. All right, let's do one more. Super chat from Josh says, shout out to the Josh Army in the chat. Nice. Josh shouting out his own Josh Army. Nice, dude. Thanks for the support. Oh, this is a good one. So Johnny Unitas says, never say, watch this. That's a good one. That is like the surefire way to ruin your season is right before you do something, say, watch this, because that can definitely be the moment where nobody should be watching. Sweet. Awesome, guys. So thanks to everyone for tuning in for the live chat. Thanks for coming to hear about the 5 ways to ruin your season. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, subscribe here to Snowboard Pro Camp. And yeah, if I missed anything, it'd be great to hear about it in the comments afterwards as well. Yeah, I hope you guys like those 5 ways, and hopefully you guys can all avoid them all now. Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming to stop by. Hope you're having some fun out there snowboarding or doing other things, and I will see you guys in the next one soon.